We are going to start with Pretty Thing. Pretty Thing is directed by Justin Kelly. Pretty Thing stars Karl Glusman as Elliot and Alicia Silverstone as Sophie. That's I don't hear her name that much these days, although she's been in a few things. I think she was in that movie The Lodge. I think that we could use some more of her. I don't know why. Maybe she's been doing a lot of TV, or maybe she's doing stuff I just don't know about. I did not check her IMDb. I'm sure she's got a ton of credits other than Clueless and what we know her most best for. It's really good grammar, isn't it, Bruce? Yeah, most best. Anyway, so Pretty Thing is basically about this character Elliot. He is a server guy at a banquet, a server, like he does that kind of thing. Where they're running around with the white shirt and black pants, and he's probably refilling drinks, and he's running around some kind of a banquet or a catering event, something like that. And anyway, he basically is at one of these events, and the his eye is caught by Alicia Silverstone's character, Sophie. Sophie kind of looks back at him. And he's much younger. He's, I don't know, let's say his age, probably 20, 19, 20, 21, something like that. And they have a connection, and before you know it, they're having a night of passion. And you kind of get the feeling like the classic quote unquote cougar kind of an idea. You get the idea that he is just a fling for her. And you're like, okay, that's going to be it. But obviously, since it's Alicia Silverstone, there must be more to the story than that. There must be some kind of a deal that we don't know about. Yes, very quickly she kind of reconnects with him, and so this is going to keep going. It's going to be a torrid affair, maybe. And the next thing she does, so you think about it, she essentially just picks him up at like I said, like a catering event. And the next time they get together, she's, hey, would you like to go to Paris with me? And she's going on a business trip, and she's bringing him along as her boy toy, arm candy, who knows what. So off they go. But they seem to have a genuine connection. And while she's out doing work, he's just running around Paris taking photographs, and he's kind of living the dream, right? And as you might guess with movies like this or stories like this, maybe it's not going to go all just beautiful and they live happily ever after, because you've seen versions of this before. And usually with movies like this, the guy becomes stalkerish. And sure enough, it's like that. So essentially, most of the movie is him thinking that they should be together and that they're like basically in love now, and her basically being like, once they get back from Paris, it's like, we had a good time, but I don't know, man. Because they try to go out one more time after she gets back, and he's just taking it very serious and he's getting intense. And you can tell she's not really that intense about it. She thought it was like, this was fun, but what's going on, dude? And you get a little bit of his home life. He kind of lives with his mom. She's got some mental and emotional issues, and he seems very doting on her. And then, of course, Alicia's character, Sophie, has to be done with him, has to let him go. So the rest of the movie is just, how is this going to play out? Is he going to go crazy on her? Is he going to try to stalk her for real? Is he going to try to kill her? Is she going to have to call the police on him? Is she going to go crazy on him? All these kind of things. Like I said, we've seen movies like this before, versions of this movie, either with either gender, we flipped around. In fact, I just reviewed, I think it was last week, Baby Girl, which is a version of this, but only in the sense that the older woman, younger man dynamic. But in that case, of course, it was trying to play with the idea of dominance and submission and gender roles and all that kind of stuff. And even though I didn't think it was totally successful, it was definitely more, it was entertaining, semi-camp take. This one's trying to take itself as more of a thriller. It's kind of presenting itself as more of a psychological thriller slash character study, I guess, maybe. But a lot of it just plays as really, like I said several times, like you've seen it before. It's dealing with a lot of those tropes, and there's some things in this, just everyone's trying really hard, but it just isn't that thrilling. It doesn't feel that satisfying. It doesn't, almost like in Baby Girl, I had the same problem. Like this also doesn't go far enough. If it's gonna be this thriller, obsessive thriller sort of a movie, starting out as an erotic thriller and becoming an obsessive thriller, then you really need to dive in that third act. And it dips its toe into the thriller aspects and into both of them going off the rails a bit, but it never really fully commits. It almost like it stops when it's getting good. In fact, there's this final moment, which I won't get into, of course, where you see his reaction to something she has done. She's taken some extreme measures, and his reaction to it is pretty psychotic, pretty odd, and shows the nature of his kind of level of obsession with her. And that should have honestly been not the starting point of the movie, but that should have been at least the starting point of the third act, if not the second half of this movie. Him being at that level where you see him at the end of this movie. Whereas that's supposed to be the punchline of the movie. To me, that's the starting gate of the movie where you really want to hit the ground at that point. Unfortunately, this movie kind of failed. Lots of interesting premise stuff. Promise was there for sure. It was fun to see Alicia Silverstone again, but it was too tame on the erotic thriller side, and it was too tame on the obsessive thriller side to be really satisfying on either front. What am I going to go with this one? Unfortunately, I'm only going to go 2 stars for Pretty Thing. It just, the obvious quote that a lot of reviewers would get, it just wasn't pretty or whatever. No, it was fine. Oh, I will talk about not being pretty. This is more of a technical thing. This movie is way too dark. And I don't usually comment like, oh, this movie's too dark. This movie's too light. This movie is too dark. It is just dingy and dark and muddy throughout. If you're going to go for a noir kind of feel, which maybe that's what they were trying to do, although it didn't really seem like they were. If you're trying to go for that, you need to get some shadow work in there or some kind of really interesting way that you're getting everything to make it moody. But this is just like, it was like dingy neo-digital version of filming. And maybe it was shot on film. I doubt it. Didn't feel like it. All right, that's all I'm going to say about Pretty Thing.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. For more movie and television reviews and interviews, please subscribe to my Deepest Dream channel. Like, comment, share, subscribe. And as always, thanks so much for your support. Take care.